Hey guys, this is James from Diskord. In this part we are going to show you some processing of the main vocal chop, just how to get it to sound a bit wider, a bit more distorted and everything like that. So first thing I'm going to do, which is kind of a theme when we're working on sound design, that kind of stuff. Oh, that's completely the wrong one. I'm just going to load a OTT, and then I'm gonna completely smash it. So now, so you can hear already that sounds pretty good. So I'm gonna cut some low out of it. So that's a pretty good start already. What we're also gonna do is probably, we'll chuck some saturation on there as well. I'm going to put that before the OTT, so let's just add a bit more fizz. That sounds pretty good. And then we're going to want some reverb. So probably quite a big reverb. So probably, I mean, cathedrals are pretty big. Let's try that. That sounds, that sounds alright. I think it's got a bit too much low end. It's also probably a bit big. Because, you know, if we just leave that reverb ringing on, it's just going to sound like a big mess. Okay, and now we're also going to OTT it again, basically, because there's just something about an OTT. Actually, no, we're not. Let's not do it again. Let's just move it after the reverb. OTT after reverb just sounds sick. You hear how that reverb just pokes out afterwards. So yeah, we do that a lot. That's something we do a lot, and it always sounds wicked. So cool. Alright, that sounded good. So what I'm going to do now is, let's just actually drop that in the track first. I think that 808 is sounding a little bit high to me. I think I'm going to, where is it? This is the 808 here, isn't it? I'm actually just going to drop that down a semitone or two. That sounds pretty good. So what that means is obviously we need to pitch these down one semitone, and same again. Ooh. Just sounds a bit more aggressive to me, a bit more meaty. Yeah, that's sounding pretty sick. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm literally just going to Command D this and duplicate the entire track, and then I'm going to go into the MIDI and just put it all down an octave. So and this is probably going to want to be fairly quiet, like it's not going to want to be as loud as the main layer. But straight away, like, it gives it loads more weight. I think I'm just going to leave the effects the same as they were. I think. Something I haven't done here, which we normally do, I'm just going to put another low cut after the saturation, because as we did before on the snare, I think it was, when you saturate it, it does, even though we've deleted, we've cut all the low, it does bring some back. So and that goes for this one as well. I'm just going to do the same. So I can lose that. Also, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to group these. So Command G, which is going to create our vocal chop group. And what that means is I can now affect those together a little bit. So I'm actually going to cut a bit more low, because, you know, like your 808 is going to have enough bass for the whole track. So you don't need low end on many other sounds, especially if they're playing at the same time as the 808. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to OTT them again, because it sounds fat most of the time. So here, that's just squashed them together. It's brought up the high end loads. It's really just a quick way to just make stuff really sound kind of squashed, and yeah, I mean, the difference is night and day. So, like, let's try. Okay, that's sounding great. I'm gonna now add kind of I'm gonna double that melody again, but this time with not a vocal, but with a synth. So before we started doing this, we got sent the Sonic Academy A.N.A. or A.N.A, not really sure how you say it, but it's actually really good. Like, we didn't know what to expect, but like, there's some really, really good presets for a start, and it's just like, it's got some really cool features, which we will get into a bit later on. But so we have a preset somewhere that we made. Can I open? Here we go, load preset. So this is a lead that we made. So I'm just going to copy that MIDI part over. So obviously that's a bit low. Let's put that up an octave. Okay, so it's already sounding pretty cool. And what I'm actually going to do is, if you can see these notes are overlapping, I'm going to stop that, because if you can hear, when they overlap, it's got the legatos on, so they are, it's not re-triggering the note, basically. So you're getting this kind of, the filter envelope isn't staying open and stuff. So I'm just going to shorten all those. Oh. Okay, that'll do. I think maybe. What I've not done is pitch that down, because we moved it all down, didn't we? So, okay, what's happening here? There we go. I've just realised what I've done is it's because I didn't tune the vocal chop to correct pitch. So copying this actually doesn't work because it's on a different, it's not in the same pitch. There we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this, I want to kind of give it its own space a little bit more, so it kind of doesn't sound so so it kind of stands out from the other two sounds. So I'm going to use the speaker plugin. What is that called again? Oh, cabinet, that's it. Right, so actually there's a preset we use sometimes called, there we go, bright small box. Let's use that. So I'll make it completely wet as well. So you hear what that does is kind of it limits the frequency range, so it kind of sounds like it's coming out of a speaker or something like, and that is a really useful thing to kind of put sounds in their own space. So okay, that sounds pretty good. Let's try. Yeah, I like that better. So let's do that, and then let's chuck some more saturation on this. I'm going to go quite aggressive with this, I think. Turn soft clip on so it doesn't peak. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. So that's already sounding pretty good. I'm gonna now OTT that a little bit, and then I'm also gonna cut all the low off of it after the OTT. So that's OTT even more so than saturation, compression, anything like that. OTT absolutely pulls up. If there is any low in there, it's gonna pull it right up to 0. So you're gonna hear it. So quite often, if you want a sound to still be thin after an OTT, see that? So there's not actually much low end on this sound, but because of the OTT, it's just pulled it right up. So I'm just gonna cut all of that. Okay, I think that sounds pretty good. Yeah, that sounded, so again, when we mix down the track, we'll come back to this and we'll probably do some more EQing, because there's going to be other stuff going on that it needs to combat and to stand out from. So but in the next part, we are going to start working on the breakdowns. We're going to put in some chords, start getting a melody going, and then we can start to actually build the track once we've got a breakdown and the drop. So come and join us in the next part.
If you like this course, why not head over to sonicacademy.com, where we have hundreds of complete track builds in every genre imaginable, including all the project files and samples. You'll also find tutorials on plugins and synths, mixing and mastering, over 250 tech tips, artist interviews, along with our award-winning plugins, samples and preset packs.